In today's video, we're going to talk about all of this. Real talk, I have PMS right now and I get so anxious just because I haven't filmed like a sit down video for ages, but I'm just like, I'm trying to be fit, I've been trying to film this video for about 3 hours and I just can't yet do it. And this chair, that needs to stop. I started off this video wearing a hoodie because I was like, I want to hide my arms just as a natural thing. And then I was like, you know what? Deal with it. So my name's Lauren. Hello, welcome back to those of you who are unfortunate enough to know me. And if you're new, welcome. My name's Lauren, as I've already said. My name here on YouTube is LoseitlikeLauren. I am going to start by giving you a bit of let's go on a journey together. Let's journey through my journey. I'm going to end up on present day and how I'm feeling now. I started my YouTube channel 11 years ago when I started my weight loss journey. I was fat, I was unhappy, I weighed 315 pounds. I thought, as we all do, because we've been brainwashed into thinking that when I lose weight, all my problems are going to be solved and I'm going to have, the man of my dreams, haha lol, and I'm gonna have be making loads of money, I'm gonna be thin and I'm gonna be perfect and nothing's gonna stop me. So I did. I lost 140 pounds, I lost 10 stone, and guess what? My problems were still there and everything was still the same. I couldn't see the fact that I'd lost weight. I had body dysmorphia. There's that good old fashioned phrase that says, wherever you go, there you'll be. And it's such an important phrase. It's basically the grass isn't always greener, or you can run away, but it's still gonna be you that you find. I constantly saw my body as a work in progress. Like, I still thought I had to lose a ridiculous amount of weight. I'll put a picture here of how I was at my thinnest, and I still thought I had about 30 pounds to lose. And I mean, a few of my friends were like, no, you need to stop now, you're pushing it. And I'm like, I'm not, I still have back rolls, I still have that, I still have this, I have blah blah blah, loose skin. So then I had a tummy tuck and thinking, right, after I have my tummy tuck, my life will be fixed. Guess what? Wasn't. I still thought I was a massive work in progress because we're never ever taught to be happy with where we are at this present moment. And I was still so upset that, I've been sold this dream of happiness when I reach this point, and I've worked so hard. I've starved myself. I didn't eat carbs for 2 years, 2 whole years. I didn't eat, carbs were in everything, but I didn't eat pasta, potatoes, rice, bread for 2 years. I mean, I can't go 2 minutes now without eating one of those 4 things. So I'm gonna have to take some breaks during this video. I put my body into starvation to get to a weight that I thought was going to solve my problems. But guess what? It's not true. And then I was like, right, after my tummy tuck, my life will be fixed. And then I had my tummy tuck and I was like, blimey, oh blimey. I am now stuck in this body. I've had my skin surgically removed to fit an ideal that I've got in my head. I've put myself in danger of my life to cut up my body, remove 7 pounds of skin to reach an aesthetic that I thought I needed to reach, when all I really needed to do was make peace up here. And now that's a lot easier said than done. And of course I wouldn't be here without this journey, and I get that. So after my tummy tuck, I'm gonna do a video on tummy tuck and I'm gonna show you what's lurking underneath these clothes. I felt like I couldn't eat. I was like, I can't eat. I can't possibly mess up this body I've been given. I've worked so hard for this. After the tummy tuck, I felt like I was in a prison. I felt like my body was a prison because I was so petrified of putting on 1 pound and ruining my body. It was like an explosion of all the 2 years. I had to stay at the same BMI for 2 years in order to get my tummy tuck, and I did that. God knows how. I did that, and then I finally had my operation, and all of a sudden I was petrified of changing in the slightest. And that being combined with the fact that after 6 weeks after the operation, you're not allowed to exercise at all. So I was like, right, I'm eating and I can't work this off. It sent me absolutely round the twist. That all combined with the pain meds that were giving me hallucinations and the fact I couldn't move, I just, all for what? All for beauty? All for the figure? All for what? Moving on a couple of years. After that, I was like, right, okay, I need to get some normality back in my life. I want to start eating intuitively. So eating what I fancy and exercising when I want, even though I got ridiculously obsessed with exercise. I was already obsessed with it before, but then it became another level. And my exercise obsession was praised because, you know, I was in a group of friends at the gym who would go multiple times a week, and I would go as well, and it was praised. Like if you did 3 classes on a Sunday, it was known as like the triple, and that was like, you should never do that much. It's such a strain on the body, but in that like gym world, it's like, wow, amazing, you're so good, you're so, you know, or people would say, or I would say also, I need to do this because I've eaten this, I need to work it off, and I've eaten bad foods, I've been bad, so therefore I need to be good, because I was just so obsessed and so brainwashed with all of diet culture. Anyway, I'm gonna get onto that in a bit. I feel like I'm not making sense. So I did obviously inevitably start putting on weight because I was trying to get myself out of this ridiculous restrictive life I'd been leading, and that obviously led to weight gain, but I didn't know how to process it in my brain in any way whatsoever. Obviously I've had this channel for so long, and I always felt like I had such a thing to upkeep. I was the weight loss girl, and I had such an ego that went along with that to keep up with it, and all of a sudden I wasn't losing weight anymore, and I didn't know how. I didn't know who I was without weight loss because I'd been that person for so long. I remember going on a date and he was like, well, what else do you like apart from the gym? And I was like, thinking about the gym? I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what I was without the gym. I put on 4 pounds after my tummy tuck because I was weighing myself religiously. And as I've spoken about in a previous video, I didn't go to a funeral of an ex-colleague because I felt so ashamed. It was 4 pounds in weight because I felt like everyone could see it. I felt like everyone was noticing every single pound, and everything was so on show, and I was just so obsessed and so desperate. I was absolutely desperate to win at this weight loss thing, and it's not about winning. It's about surrendering in a way and being like, okay, you do you. I'm gonna turn my back away from this and take the intuitive route, which we'll get to. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so hard to edit. Then 3 years ago I moved out of my family home, and I was able to, you know, live in my own flat and eat what I wanted when I wanted. And I suppose I did kind of go slightly out of control because I was panicking all the time that I was putting on weight, and then I wasn't caring, and then I wasn't exercising, because then I was rebelling against exercise. I was like, well, I've done it for so long, I don't want to do it. But also I was desperate, so I would think, okay, well, maybe I should be doing it. And I got so desperate during the weight gain that I even had times where I was considering weight loss surgery. I was like, right, how can I like stop this for good? Because I can't live like this. I can't keep gaining. I can't put on the weight. I always thought I would never gain any of the weight back, let alone a portion of it. I don't know what my weight is now. I'm never going to weigh myself again. I don't want to know. Part of me is actually curious, you know, to see my weight. And I've just literally done a 360 of my thoughts because I'm interested to see how I feel now versus how I felt then, and the weight comparison. I know that I might be curious about it now, but if I did weigh myself, I know that it will make me go into that mindset of being quite obsessive again, so I'm not going to let myself go there. Did that make sense? Probably not. And then I got into a relationship, gained even more, felt even more lost, felt even more helpless, felt even more like I didn't know myself, because I thought I knew myself when I was at my lowest weight, and then I put on weight and I'm like, well, I'm not that person anymore, but I don't see myself as a bigger person, and I can't actually accept that I am. So I constantly felt lost, and I constantly felt like I wasn't myself. But what we don't ever actually realise is that we're always ourselves. We're always a version of ourselves, and we're never lost. It's just we're so brainwashed with the thought of having this perfect body, this dream body that we should be going towards, and that is who we truly are. Is it? Is it who we truly are? Or is this right now who you are, right now who you are? Because I know that who I am right now is who I am. That's it. But we'll get onto that. As I keep saying, let's get a hydration. Have you got your hydration? Sorry, hydration! Have you got it? Things really changed for me about 3/4 of the way through this book. I know I talk about this book a lot. Body Positive Power by Megan Jane Crabb. I read about 2/3 of this thinking, yeah, but you're just fat though. Yeah, but you're just a failure. Yeah, but you really want to be thin though. You're just pretending. And I was incredibly brainwashed by society, like we all are, until this over time started settling in. At the end of this book, she gives things that you can do to start with the whole body positive thing. Now, I know when I first read it, I was like, right, okay, well, body positivity, it seems like everyone else is getting it, but I don't understand it, and it will never work for me because, you know, X, Y, Z, whatever. We are all so capable of it. Fast forward to present day. Right now, I feel so at ease in my body. It's weird. I feel calm. I think that's quite a good way to put it. Like, for instance, when I waggled my arm earlier, before I'd be like, wow, look, there's an extra roll on it. Brilliant. Great times. And how hideous, I need to wear a hoodie, or I need to keep pulling this down so that that little bit of fat gets tucked in so it doesn't look like an extra roll. Because, you know, somebody looking at me couldn't tell I'm a plus size person. They'd need to have that bit covered in order to realise it. But now, look, if I do that, it's like an extra roll. Looks like a Michelin arm. But you know what? That's my freaking arm. That's my arm. That is an arm that I can move without pain. That I can pick up things, that is strong. That helps me every single day, that I can write with. That I can eat with. That I can do many things with. And for that, I am so freaking grateful. I've got to this point by accepting that I don't want to be at war with myself anymore. I kind of just reached a point where I was just like, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot constantly hate myself because of these pressures that society puts on women and men, but women more so in a way in this kind of field. I just can't do it anymore. Life is too short to constantly be hating my body because I'm subject to this shitty world of diet culture, societal crap, and the world around me. I just can't do it anymore. Do I really want to be hating on myself every single day for the rest of my life? And the answer is no, I don't. We all have bits about ourselves that we hate, but remember, flaws do not exist. And you might be like, well, no, well, I've got chunky this or big that or small that or whatever. Flaws do not exist. They are things that we focus on in our brains that we think aren't good or would rather be this way or that way. They do not exist. Like, if I said to you, picture like the perfect woman, you'd have something in your head that has been cultivated by the media, by advertising. It would probably be a slim woman, a tall woman, no wrinkles, no spots, no anything, long hair probably, curves in all the right places. Would you picture yourself? Of course you wouldn't, because we are all natural women who have normal wrinkles, who have normal folds in their skin, who have hairs in places. The list goes on and on and on. Hating ourselves is so exhausting. But equally, this whole self-love thing also seems exhausting. Like, when you think that everyone has this kind of level of self-love, or that's for other people, that's not for me. Self-love can be easily rebranded as self-friendship. And I know that sounds gay. Self-friendship. I just want to be my own friend. You know that phrase that I always say, would you say the things you say to yourself to a friend? No, you wouldn't. I just decided to be my own friend. And after you decide that, things kind of get a little bit easier. We live in such a cruel, harsh, judgmental world that being kind to ourselves almost feels like we shouldn't be. And you know, when we were growing up, if there was someone that was full of themselves, it wasn't seen as a good thing. And self-love and being an arrogant tosser are two completely different things. I'm an arrogant tosser. Oh god, I'm just so this video is raw. Let's try something different. I have noticed different changes in my body, in the way I hold myself. I keep thinking to myself, where have all these things come from that I do now that I didn't do before? And most of it has come from that book, Megan Jane Crabb's book. Stuff like if I'm sitting down, I used to always hold my stomach in and think like, oh, and I'd make myself uncomfortable sitting like that in a certain way just to make myself look that tiny bit thinner. I mean, if somebody's looking at you, whatever you think they're gonna think, if you're sitting there making yourself uncomfortable. Right now, I feel like I've just accepted myself. I've accepted who I am. I think me coming out and accepting my sexuality massively helped with this. I've just accepted that I am as I am right now, and that's fine. That's great, that's me. And that is a powerful thing to do, to be like, right, this is me, you know, because we're constantly being told that who we are isn't good enough, and just to actually kick back and be like, well, actually, I fucking am, is just so powerful as well. Like, for instance, now I'm sitting here, I am manspreading my legs. You can't see that, they're like this. Because, and I'm not pulling in my tummy at all. My bra probably could be yanked up a bit, but is it? No, it's not. Because I'm just comfortable in the way I'm sitting. I'm just like, right, this is how I want to sit. I could easily be like, but that isn't me. I'm like, right. But that's my masculine energy coming through, I tell you. I just decided that I wanted to be my own friend, and I was done with hating on myself and having this constant war. I then did a few other things. I spoke to, there's an amazing woman called Harry Rose, has a brilliant book called You Are Enough. My one is a signed copy. And she explains diet culture, she explains all these different things, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful book. Here are 7 things that I think taste better than skinny feels. More adventure. Making peace with your body so that you no longer feel like you're waiting to start your life. How many times have I said that earlier? We're all waiting to start our life. In a mythical place in the future when I've lost 10 pounds. More fun starts now. More sunshine on skin. Oh my God, that feel, like, can you feel that? Like when you think about sunshine on your skin, do you just feel warm and like it's like a hug? Can you feel that? Wearing whatever you want to, regardless of what magazines say, and choosing clothes that make you feel happy, not because they flatter you. Don't even get me started on the word flatter. I was having a chat with her and she said that the first step for being at peace with the body that you have now is, if I said to you, do you have like an ideal body in your head of what you want to look like? I think 99.9% of us would have a body that we have already got in there pictured, or we'd have a piece of clothing that we've got in our cupboards that we're dying to get into, all these things, or you know, a certain size that we want to be in order to start our lives. She said to me that one of the things we need to do to get past feeling not worthy enough is to kind of like get rid of this ideal body image and almost like lose it from our minds and grieve it and be like, right, I am worthy as I am now. I am not a work in progress. I am not a before picture. I am not all these things. I am who I am right now. I am beautiful, I'm worthy, I am amazing. I am not on the way to this. I am me, that is it. And at the start, that was incredibly scary for me to hear, because I was like, oh my God, well, I've got this denim jacket, sorry, this leather jacket that I just love, and I have always wanted to wear it again, and it still hurts me now, can't talk about it. And I did, I got rid of that image in my head of that. Now, I'm not saying that we need to give up on our health, that we need to give up on our anything at all. I'm not saying this, because there's obviously the, oh well, you know, the health side of things. I'm not saying that in the slightest. I have just bought I haven't started this yet, but it's the Train Happy guide. She is beautiful, that's Tally there. I would say Tally Ray, but it's Tally Rye. It's got like loads of how-to pictures. She talks about intuitive movement, so that we've got intuitive eating and we've got intuitive movement. 10 weeks to train happy. And yeah, would definitely recommend that if you're interested in intuitive exercise plan for everybody. There are so many emotions that come along with that dream body in our heads. There's shame that we're not there. There's guilt. There's just so much stress that we constantly need to be there, that we're not accepting and paying attention to our current life as well. Not only physically, like around us, we're constantly thinking, oh, I should be at the gym, I should be eating good food, I should be eating healthy, I should be doing all these things, rather than just enjoying the moments of our life. And who can believe it's February 21st. How many thoughts? Think about how many thoughts you've had since New Year, and how many of those have been negative and how many of those have been positive. I can bet you it's a lot more in the negative column than positive. The second thing I did, now this is obviously an expensive thing to do. I got rid of every single piece of clothing that didn't fit me. So I could literally look into my wardrobe and be like, right, everything fits me. And I cried for hours when I did that. I cried for absolute hours. I got rid of the leather jacket I was telling you about, which I just thought, right, I'm just gonna get rid of it because it made me feel so much lighter when it was all gone, because I was like, I don't have that feeling of failure hanging over my head. The next thing I did, which I talk about a lot, is I changed who I follow on Instagram. I started following women of all sizes or all types of age, race, ability, everything, and it's changed the way I feel about myself. Seeing women who are bigger than me, plus size, whatever, rocking their clothes and rocking their outfits has given me a newfound love for my own body and my own style as well. I remember ages ago seeing a picture of Tess Holliday and thinking, oh, there's no way she can feel confident because she looks like that. And I used to always think that it was an issue that she had with herself, but I realised that that comment had nothing to do with her, and it was all about my own feelings about my own body. Like, how could she possibly feel good at that weight if I don't even feel good at my weight? It says nothing about, if you think something, it says nothing about the person, it says everything about you. And that kind of leads me on to the next thing. We need to lose our fear of fat. We are also afraid of fat and becoming fat, gaining fat, eating fat, being called fat, using the word fat. Using the word fat has no extra ammo than he's tall, she's tall, he's fat, she's thin, she's funny. That's me. Any adjective you can think of, fat is the same as all of those, but it's been loaded with so much vileness that we're scared of it. So try and educate yourself on fat phobia. Fat phobia is so real. I didn't used to think it was a thing because I was so wrapped up in diet culture. For anybody that doesn't think fat phobia is a thing, I heard something the other day that made me really think, and it was really interesting. Would you take the advice of a morbidly obese person, of a fat person? And I don't just mean a bit fat, I mean really fat. Would you take somebody's advice who had a body like that? Because we have so many things that we put on that person. That person is unhealthy, that person doesn't value themselves, that person doesn't live their life well. That's generally what we think in terms, that's what fat phobia is. Would you take the advice of somebody like that? And if you wouldn't, challenge yourself as to why, educate yourself as to why, educate yourself, read books like Health at Every Size, this one. There's so many things. I'm going to put a list down below. I can't really get into it now because number one, I don't really understand it enough, but I know that losing my fear of fat has helped me become this accepting of myself. You know what? I think my appreciation of my body has improved since I've started dating women. Yeah, I think it has, you know. Not that I'm saying everyone should come to the dark side, but it is great. You should try it at least once in your life because it's given me a different appreciation for my own body. I always have been quite good at being naked because since my operation, I was a bit like, well, everyone's seen me naked now. About 1 million doctors and nurses have seen me naked, so it doesn't matter. But I definitely have noticed it recently when I've been in a clothes-off situation with, I hate myself for saying clothes-off situation. When I've been in a clothes-off situation with somebody, I have not, the embarrassment has not even entered my mind. Shame has not entered my mind. I've just been so in the moment and so like there that I haven't thought, oh my God, what if I look a certain way? A friend said to me years ago, if you are in a situation where you're about to get naked with someone or you are naked with someone, the last thing they're going to be thinking about is, look at her stretch marks, or wow, oh my God, she's fat, for instance. If somebody likes you and you're at the point where you're about to have coitus of some phrase, of some whatever. Oh, coitus, lovely word. Taking off your clothes is not going to be a shock because if you're fat, people can see you're fat when you're wearing clothes. It's not going to be like, whoop, there it is. You know, it's not, sorry, it's very inappropriate. I think accepting my sexuality, both in terms of like the fact I'm bisexual and also accepting that we as women deserve to be sexual, deserve to be, to own our sexuality, to sleep with who we want, to sleep with however many people we want, to sleep with, you know, whatever as long as we are safe and it's consensual and all these things, accepting that and learning more about female sexuality has also changed me for the better. So educate yourselves and get down with yourself and others. Thank you. Good night. No, but okay. The last thing I'm going to say, I have been exercising intuitively. I've been going swimming and I felt strong in my body, and I've been like, right, okay, when I look in the mirror, I'm going to do a rerun of what I do when I look in the mirror video, so I'm not going to go into that now. When I look in the mirror, I can see when I look in the mirror now, I can see that I've put on weight. My body feels different. I have like some rolls up here now that I didn't have before. If I put my hands on my hips, they don't go in as much as they used to, and that's fine. I jiggle a lot more than I used to, but that's okay because I have been moving my body intuitively. I've been being gentle. Do I want to exercise today? No. Okay, I won't. Do I want to eat macaroni and cheese today? Yes, I do. That's what I did yesterday. I had it with a big salad. That's what I wanted. My body was craving like leaves. And I've been getting up earlier. I've been being kind to myself. I've been saying no to plans with friends because it's made me feel good about myself. And I've been having early nights, and I've just been treating my body with kindness, and it's making me feel so much better. Yeah, I feel like I'm glowing at the moment, and I kind of love it. And I love it. The last tip I'm going to give you is, if you're finding it hard to appreciate yourself, or even anyone should do this, write a letter to yourself as like a letter of love. You could write a love letter to yourself, a letter of gratitude. If you find it difficult, you can like start from your head and work down to your feet. Like, I'm so grateful to have eyes that can see. Things like this, things that we take for granted. I have a heart that beats, that keeps me alive. I have lungs that fill up and down multiple million times a day. Breathing, keeping me alive. As you can tell, my letter was lengthy. I'm grateful that I have arms to hug people with. I'm grateful that I have ears to hear, you know, all these things that we take, hair on my head. I'm grateful I have, you know, so many things that we take for granted and we overlook because we're constantly thinking about weight loss equals the best thing that I can possibly do in my life, and it does not. It does not. As I've said before, whenever we see videos of older people talking about their lives, they never talk about the things, they never regret the things they did, they always regret the things we didn't, and we are all missing out on life because we're hating our bodies and we're putting our life off. And things are never as bad as we think they're going to be. So move your body, listen to your body. Your body has signals. It's telling you what it wants. You just need to turn off all the external pressures and listen to it. It knows when it's hungry, it knows when it's satisfied, it knows when it wants to move, it knows when it's tired, it knows all these things. We just need to learn how to fine tune it. I hope this has been helpful today. I'm gonna continue being myself. Don't know what that sentence was even gonna turn into, but thank you so much for watching today. I love you. I'm so grateful for you, and I wish you everything in the world. Please feel free to share your stories down below. I have a coffee page if you would like to buy me a coffee. The link's below. Follow me on Instagram, all the good stuff. I love you, love you, love you, and I'll see you very soon. Mwah. Bye.